If you can sell the business, generally the driver is maximising value. So if that's the case, then it's usually a trade sale, so a sale to a competitor buyer, trade buyer. If that is the route, that's the direction of travel, then the preparation time is probably longer. You need to be thinking about it and getting the business ready for that sale event well before you want to trigger the process off. If you're selling the business, some business owners don't want to sell to a trade buyer because they have a loyalty to the management team, and they actually want to give the management team the first opportunity to buy the business from them. I see that a lot. I'm not interested in the maximum value here. I want to get some value out, but my priority here is giving the guys who have worked with me for so long the opportunity to buy this business off me and run it themselves. If that's the case, generally speaking, you've got your lead time to doing the deal is much lower, because the managers know the business inside out, so you don't need to do as much prep to get the business ready for sale in that situation. Some businesses just are in a sector or at a stage in their life cycle that just there isn't any interest from trade buyers to buy the business, and that's just a fact. And that's one of the conversations, a frank conversation I had with a client quite quickly. And those management buyouts can be financed through external debt, which we can help with, or you can do what's called a vendor-initiated management buyout, which in most cases involves just using the cash on the balance sheet of the company to fund the transaction. A lot of clients don't appreciate that that's an option. You don't have to go out and get external debt to do the deal, which can be complicated and expensive. You can do it just by structuring it and using in the right way and using the cash on the balance sheet. The sort of final one that's been fairly common recently is sales to an employee ownership trust, EOT. It's a government sort of initiative to try and encourage business owners to bring the employees in proper stakeholders in the business, and it involves basically selling more than 50% of the company to an employee trust. So the employee trust is for the benefit of all employees. So it sort of notionally gives the employees a stake in the business, and they feel like they're a shareholder in the business. We've seen quite a few of those deals over the last few years. They're quite complicated to do because there's lots of hoops to jump through from a tax perspective. You've got to tick lots of boxes and make sure you don't fall foul of some of the legislation. So they're quite complicated in terms of making sure you fit in the right criteria. But they're a really viable option as an alternative to selling the business. You would never embark upon a sale of a business without legal support because you could very easily come very unstuck with doing it without legal support. There's quite a lot of key documentation to negotiate, draft and negotiate. But more importantly, I think, and I think this is probably another one of our USPs, is you need to engage the right legal counsel. You need somebody that's going to challenge you. You don't want somebody that's just a yes person. You need somebody that you can have an honest conversation with, because doing these sort of transactions will be one of the most stressful things an owner manager will go through. Most clients underestimate it. It's massively stressful trying to get through the process. Lots of things can derail the deal. There's a huge amount of work involved in getting there, and it's important that during that stressful period, as I say, you've got somebody that you can have an open and frank conversation with, and somebody that can go, actually, I'm not sure you're right. We might want to consider something else, and talk it through and work out what the best route is through a problem because as you're doing transactions, you'll come across problems. You've got to navigate your way around them. So you need somebody that's going to challenge you. So it's really important that you hold back that type of really commercially sensitive information until right at the end of the transaction, when you know it's happening. There's no risk of it falling over, and then you can do it there's the last piece of information you share with them. So yeah, the advice around confidentiality is key, really key.